Now, side hustles are a super fun topic that I think everyone tries to do a side hustle at some point. So with side hustles, I have two minds about this. So you have a job, and then you decide you want to do something else so that you can earn extra income. And there's two ways two ways that you could go about this. You could decide, I'm gonna take the skill that I have in my job and use it outside my job. So I'm an accountant, I work at PwC, I'm going to find people who I can do accounting for on the weekends or the evenings and charge them 30K. So that sounds simple enough. And then there's another kind where you're like, okay, so I'm this same accountant at PwC, but I'm going to go and start a chicken farm. So these two things have risk and return, as we've heard about investments. And with the first business that I told you guys about, I continued to do it as a side hustle because it kind of went with my job. But what ends up happening is you stop doing as well in your job. And so you reduce your ability to earn at your job because you're slacking, you don't put in 110%, you're not going to be the first one to be promoted. So even when you think about a side hustle, even if it's the same as your job, I would urge you to think about, is it more profitable if this is your goal, if profit is your goal, is it more profitable for me to work hard at my job and get a raise? Or should I keep doing my weekend side hustle, which ends up making me more money? And sometimes it's because you want to diversify, and that's okay, meaning that you want your sources of income to come from two different places, but then you should not place the same weight on those things. And then with the second one, the one of, because everyone has tried to do farming, tomatoes, chickens, rabbits. I did fish. It didn't go well. And I don't know why we love farming, but anyway, that's a different story. So with these other kinds of side hustles, where it's a totally different thing from what you do in your job, I think the risk is extremely high. I think most of the time it's not actually worth it because it's very difficult for you to be an accountant at PwC and understand how chickens are reared to the same extent. So I think the best way to approach these kinds of side hustles is to do it in a group and have someone in that group be an expert, and therefore also reduce the amount of money that you put into that venture. Actually, I think that's the only way that I would recommend doing it. But
someone has to be an expert in it.
Yeah. You need somebody who's an expert, who understands it and who's there all the time, because otherwise you will lose your money. And remember, we're supposed to not lose our money.